Hello, good evening. People from different households in Jersey are tonight banned from meeting each other indoors with immediate effect. Also from Monday, everyone's being told to work from home unless their job is critical to island life.
It follows the biggest rise yet in coronavirus cases and this sobering statistic. ITV News has learnt at least 6 people have died this week after testing positive for COVID-19.
The new rules on gatherings announced late this afternoon will not apply on Christmas Day or Boxing Day. Well, Gary Burgess is live outside Jersey's hospital. Gary, clearly the government is worried.
They really are. A real change in the tone and the words in their messaging, which you will hear in just a moment. So today's case statistics, as James mentioned, a huge one-day tally. 136 new cases today. 2 more people in hospital because of coronavirus. 17 more care home residents testing positive, bringing it to 65. The government today announcing 3 more deaths this week, bringing their total to 4. ITV News can confirm the total is actually at least 6, but there are delays in that death registration process. It gives you a real startling, blunt assessment of what's happening in the island this week. As a consequence, the Christmas guidance recently announced has changed with immediate effect. Mixing with other households indoors or in your own garden is completely banned. The exception is Christmas Day and Boxing Day, where you can have a gathering of up to 10 people, but only once on each of those 2 days. The hospitality shutdown will continue, but as of tomorrow, cafes will only be able to offer takeaways. And it's all to do with growing pressure here at the hospital. More patients testing positive, 5 with coronavirus in intensive care right now. Also begging questions about whether the Nightingale Hospital will need to open. As it stands right now, the answer is no, but that it stands ready to be opened with 72 hours notice. And this tonight from the island's top medic.
I cannot overemphasize this. We are in a serious position, and without the concerted action of all of us, it will become more serious as we enter the Christmas period and move forward. The most pressing issue is gathering indoors, whether at home or at work. So from now on, pending further information, mixing between households indoors and in private gardens must stop. If you must mix with another household, you should do so outside in a large space, like on the beach, in a park, or in country lanes, and always maintain 2 meters of physical distance between you at all times. Now, of course, we understand that Christmas Day and Boxing Day are special occasions and meaningful to many islanders. So people will want to meet. But you should be limiting any visits to those days only, Christmas and Boxing Day. And you should only have 2 gatherings over those 2 days, 1 on each day, with a maximum of 10 people at each gathering.
I asked Dr. Muscat what his message was to the COVIDiots who still don't think there's a problem in Jersey. He quite simply said, you are denying reality. The Chief Minister also saying the greatest gift you can give elderly and vulnerable relatives this Christmas is stay away so that they're here to enjoy next Christmas. And tonight, this special film for ITV News viewers from Island Medics.
A very happy and healthy Christmas from all of us working in healthcare across the island. The best present we can give each other is to keep Christmas this year small, quiet, and as far as possible apart. We need everyone to play their part in keeping us all safe this Christmas. Please.
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 Please. Please.
Please.
Please. Please.
Well, Gary, of course, after the Christmas holidays, schools go back and lots of mixing begins again. What are teaching unions saying?
Well, they're still frustrated at the state of play. The government has tonight announced that the new school term will begin 2 days later. That'll be the 6th of January to allow teachers to prepare. But unions are actually calling for schools to stay closed until all students have gone through a mass coronavirus screening programme, so they know that students returning to class have tested negative. The union's saying it's only what's been planned for England.
In England, from the 4th of January, all secondary schools are remote learning, except for pupils in vulnerable groups, children of key workers and examination groups also. And I think that's what we'd seek to be replicated in Jersey.
So as well as frustrated teaching unions, also frustration about the news announced this week that partners of pregnant women going to the hospital behind me for their antenatal scans are now no longer allowed to do so as part of this clampdown on numbers in the hospital. It's a story that Caroline Lewis has been looking at today.
21-year-old Brittany and her partner Ralph have been trying for their second child for almost 2 years. She fell pregnant back in January, but at her 12-week scan, joy quickly turned to devastation.
I was looking at my child on the screen and they were like, "We're really sorry, but your child doesn't have a heartbeat."
At the time, Jersey was in lockdown and rules meant she'd had to attend the scan without her partner.
It was really difficult news to digest on my own, because even though you are with a sonographer, they're a professional and they know how to take care of you, to me, they're a stranger.
Now pregnant again, Brittany tells me Ralph had been looking forward to seeing the first images of their baby. But on Wednesday, the government announced partners would no longer be able to attend antenatal scans. How does your partner feel not being able to be there for you?
He feels guilty when he shouldn't feel guilty. He shouldn't feel guilty that he couldn't come last time. He shouldn't feel guilty he wasn't there to support me. It's his child too, and he has a right to be there.
Similar rules in the UK have now been relaxed, but the government in Jersey said protecting patients and staff from the virus was their priority.
In the government's COVID response, we've always sought to balance the harms. In the UK, I'm advised that there have been cases of staff working in clinics who have acquired COVID as a result of spread from either patients or partners attending. And of course, we wish to avoid that.
But Brittany believes the government's current guidance is unfair on expectant parents.
It's not a well thought through plan, because the fathers and mothers are from the same household, and I think that should be the massive emphasis on this. There are people who can meet each other not from the same household. So it is quite insulting because we're losing out on an experience whilst people can still go out and do normal things.
A petition against the rules started yesterday has already amassed more than 800 signatures. But with cases climbing and a second lockdown looming, whether the government changes its mind remains to be seen. Caroline Lewis, ITV News.
I should say the government says health workers will always take a sympathetic approach to these issues. They also say there is support available, and indeed we've signposted some of that support on our website if you've been affected by any of the issues in Caroline's report.
OK, well, Gary, there's obviously been quite a lot to take in today, particularly people might have had plans for the weekend, of course. Can you just recap the headlines for us?
Absolutely, I appreciate it. It's like a barrage of information. Let's just go through this step by step. First of all, as of tomorrow, cafes will close to customers coming in. It's takeaways only, the same as much of the rest of hospitality. The rest of that hospitality will stay closed. Elsewhere, Christmas Day and Boxing Day are the only days where you can mix with other households. As of now, you are not allowed to mix with any other household indoors or in your garden whatsoever until further notice. If you want to see people, you have to see them outside in public. On Christmas Day though and Boxing Day, once per day you can, but the strong medical advice is don't. Please, the best thing to do is have the smallest Christmas of your life.
OK, very clear. Gary, thank you.